Namaste. Welcome to the Lotus Pad online yoga retreat, and this is your membership video. So welcome and thank you for joining us. This is the first of the videos in this month. We're going to be creating 5 videos a month, plus some extra bonuses, things like shorter 10-20 minute tutorial videos, or maybe even just pictures and some explanations. But there'll be lots of great juicy things that you can access in this subscription area. One of the things that you need to have with you when you're starting a class with me is, or some of the things you need to have, a couple of bricks, a belt, possibly a bolster, and maybe a blanket for Shavasana also. If you don't have those things, then of course you can always improvise. While I'm teaching these classes, there is always an option to do something that feels better for your body. So there will be days when you feel like challenging yourself and you can do some of the more difficult poses, and there will be days when you feel like you need to do a little bit less, and you can choose how to work with your yoga practice and with these videos. This month we are focusing on grounding. So it's all about kind of feet on the ground and getting into the really basis of our practices. Some of you will have done yoga for a lot of years, and some of you have just started. Forgive me if I occasionally am checking things like tech and stuff. I'm still quite new to offering video content, so I'm hoping it goes okay. So this class is focusing on standing poses. So we will do a complete practice, but we'll focus quite a lot on standing poses and just make sure that we have some time left at the end for Shavasana, for rest, which is really important. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to begin in a simple cross-leg position. So you can sit up with your hips either on a bolster or on a brick. Or you can sit on the floor. But try to get your feet underneath your knees. If this position is uncomfortable, as with everything else, just change the position. So bring your hands in towards your heart. Close your eyes. We'll focus on our breath, but first we're going to chant one Om together. With the sound of Om, we let go of all thoughts, past and future, and come into this present moment, open to receive all that this time has to offer. So first a deep breath in through the nose, and release your air out your mouth. After your inhale, one Om. Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityama Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then just release your hands down onto your legs. Keep lifting up the chest, rolling the shoulders down and back. Start to focus on your breath. So long breaths in and out through the nose. Just rolling the air down past the back of the throat. Inhaling deeply, exhaling fully. With your next inhale, take your right hand behind, left hand over the right knee. Stretch up tall, exhale, twist. Look over the right shoulder. Keeping the hands behind you close in towards your back so you can lengthen the spine. And then inhale, circle back to the front. And exhale, take the left hand behind, right hand over the knee. Twist. Press your hand into your knee also to help you twist a little deeper. Inhale, come back to the center. Change the cross of the legs opposite way. And then bring your fingertips onto the floor and exhale, walk your fingers forward. So lengthening from the lower back, tilt the pelvis forward and the sit bones back. Okay, and then walk the hands back in. Okay, so draw the heels in, come up onto the hands and knees. Spread the fingers. Hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart, and then just some cat cow poses. So inhale, arch the back, lift the head up. Exhale, bring the chin in towards the chest, lift the spine up. Inhale, rolling through the spine, roll the shoulders back, lift the head. Exhale, chin comes in, spine lift up. Inhale, roll through the spine, roll the shoulders back. And then with your exhale, lift the hips up and back to downward dog. And then just have a move in downward dog in whatever way feels opening, creative. Maybe hips from side to side, or just circle the hips forward and then back. Bend your knees and then straighten your legs. Do what feels kind of firm and spacious. And then make your way slowly back to the front edge of the mat. Fold towards the legs. Softly bend the knees, hands to hips, and come up to a standing position. Okay. I'm going to start at this end of the mat. This is my usual end. Hands down to the sides. Engage the thighs, lift up the heart. So press your feet down. This is the first part of our grounding process. Pressing down with all four corners of the feet. And then just lift the toes up off the floor for a moment and ground down with the big toe. And then spread all the other toes out wide like monkey feet. Hands down to the sides, point the fingers down, but keep lengthening up towards the sky, in my case, ceiling maybe in your case. Lift your chest up, let your shoulders drop. And we'll begin our first sun salutation. So inhale, lift your arms up. Press your hands together, exhale, holding towards the legs, look towards the knees. Inhale from here, either pressing onto the floor or onto your legs if you can't reach the floor. Exhale, step back into down dog to start with. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And then drop the knees down and exhale, lower the chest. Press your hands into the floor. Inhale, lift the shoulders just a little bit to start with. And then tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog. And then breathing in downward dog. So making sure that you keep your breath long and round, in and out through the nose. Engage the thighs to release the backs of the legs. If you feel a little stuck in your lower back, just bend your knees and lift your hips up. So we're trying to get into a nice long spine. And if that means by bending your knees you do that, that's better for the back. Okay, and then look forward, take an inhale, step or jump back to the front, extend away from the legs, look forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reaching up, grow taller. Exhale, arms down to the sides. Inhale, lift and look up, second one. Exhale, fold in towards the legs. Inhale, press into legs or floor, look forward. Exhale, this time into a plank. Press back into your heels. So you're either going to come down Chaturanga Dandasana. That means level to the floor but not touching the floor. Or you can bring your knees down like you did before. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. Long breaths. Look forward again, inhale, stack or jump back to the front. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Okay, let's keep going. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen away from the legs, look forward. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down. I'll show you the one with the knees down. You just drop the knees down and lower the chest. Inhale, shoulders lift up and back and look up. And then tuck the toes, exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog. Pressing forward with the hands, back with the feet. Just finding that length in your lower back. Okay, next one. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Turn the left foot parallel to the edge of the mat. Reach out into your fingers. Right knee is bent. Right toes facing forward. Reach out into your fingers for warrior number 2. Drop the shoulders down. Feel a lift underneath the armpits. Look towards your right fingers. 5 breaths here. And then we're going to reverse the warrior. So take the left hand down the leg, lift the right arm up, inhale, hold it there, stretching through this right waist, keep your left leg straight, lunge a little deeper into your right knee. Inhale, stretch your arms out. Exhale, right elbow onto the thigh for Tadasana. So you can just bring your left hand onto your hip and roll the left shoulder back. Or you can take your left arm up and over your left ear. And then keep reaching out into space with your fingers, planting down, so grounding down with both your feet. So standing poses are really important when we're thinking about grounding in our practice. Inhale, turn to face the floor. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Turn the right foot parallel to the edge of the mat. Straight right leg, bent left leg. Reach out into your fingers. Drop your shoulders, but lift up underneath your armpits. So it almost feels as though you're pressing your hands down, but having something to press onto. Imagine you have something to press onto. Okay, and then reverse the warrior. So take the right hand down the leg, lift the left arm up, turn the palm of the hand facing down. Lengthen through the left side of the body and look up. Inhale, stretch your arms out wide. Exhale, left elbow onto the thigh again. Right hand onto the hip. Roll your right shoulder back. Option to stay here, especially if you have some shoulder issues. Or you can circle your right arm over your right ear. Press into the outer edge of both your feet. All your feet. Usually we have two. Okay, and then next inhale, both hands to the floor. Exhale, step back to downward dog. So we have an option here. You can either stay in downward dog as your transition, or you can use a vinyasa. In that case, we come into plank pose, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, point the toes for your back bend. Exhale, hips up for downward dog. Okay, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Turn the left foot parallel to the edge of the mat. We're going to have a brick in front of our right foot. If you don't have a brick, maybe you can use a hard book or something quite solid. So right toes turning towards the front of the mat, left foot parallel again. Take your arms out wide, turn the palms up. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, reach out, right hand onto your leg. Press your hand actually onto your leg, not inside of your leg like I see many people do. Press your hand onto your leg and use the bone in your leg to push back against your hand. Then lift your left arm up, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Engage both the thighs, so the movement and the engagement of the quadricep muscles helps us to ground again. Look up if you can. Remember there's those adaptations, if your neck's a little bit stiff and your shoulders, then you can look forward or down. And then bring your left hand onto your hip. So look towards your foot, bend your right knee, lean in and bring your right hand down to the brick. So I suggest this brick to be about a brick distance from your foot to the brick. And then maybe a little bit out to the side. So straighten both the legs and then lift your left arm up. Let your left shoulder come over your right shoulder, push into your left heel for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. And then look down towards your foot, exhale, step back and slide your hand back into Trikonasana. Right hand onto the leg, lift the left arm up. Roll the right shoulder back. And next inhale, turn to face the floor. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Turn the right foot parallel to the edge of the mat. Turn your left toes facing forward. Your brick will now be over to the left, just in front of your left foot, and then a little bit over to the left. This helps us with stability and balance. So take your arms out wide. Turn the palms up. Inhale, lift your arms. Both thighs working. Feel as though they're drinking up towards the thighs, towards the hips. And then exhale, left hand down, lift the right arm up. Look up towards your right thumb. Press your leg into your hand and press your hand into your leg. And you'll feel that extension coming from the leg up into your arms all the way up towards your top fingers. And then look towards your left foot, right hand onto your hip to start with. Lean in towards your brick. So stay looking down for a moment until you can straighten both your legs. So some of you might need to take your brick a little bit higher. Some of you won't need a brick at all. And then push into your right heel, push into your left foot, and lift your right arm up. Open the chest outwards, push into your right heel. Look up if you're not going to lose balance. I am today, so I'm going to stay looking forward. And then exhale, step back, left hand onto the leg, lift the right arm up, back into Trikonasana. Okay, next inhale, both hands down. Exhale, step back, downward dog. The same as before, you can use downward dog as a transition or also come into a child's pose, or we can take a vinyasa. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, this time I'm coming all the way down. Press the hands into the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. This time, hop your left foot forward a little bit. And if you have your bricks, you can have them either side of your right foot. Okay. Adjusting the wardrobe a little bit. Turn your left toes slightly in. Engage the thighs. Ground down with the feet. So it all starts from the base. Ground down with your feet and then start to lift up the quadricep muscles. Then draw the navel in. So we're going into Tadasana. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then exhale, reach forward. You're going to have the chest level to the floor for a moment. Reaching forward with your fingers. Keep reaching fingers forward and hips back, trying to keep your shoulders and your hips level to the floor. And then exhale, bring your hands down onto bricks or floor. And then we'll level up again. So sometimes one hip wants to go out to the side, one shoulder. Try and level up from here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold in towards your leg. Okay, hands to hips. Inhale, come back up. So we're going to do Parivrita Trikonasana, revolving triangle pose. Right hand onto the hip. Inhale, lift your left arm. Stabilize the feet and the legs. Exhale, reach forward. And then options to bring your left hand inside of your foot and have a lot of space. Sometimes you need that. That's a more simplified version. If you want the more classical version, you take your hand outside of the foot. And again, I use bricks. If you don't feel like you need the bricks, you can just bring your hands to the floor. And then lift the right arm up. So we're spiraling the rib cage up towards the sky. And we're going to look up towards the right thumb. Inhale, turn to face the floor. Both hands down. Exhale, step back, down the dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Pop your right foot forward a little bit so we're not quite so long. Bricks again, shoulder width apart on the floor. So the right toes turn in about a 45-degree angle. This gives us enough of an angle to feel stable, but also enough so that we can draw this right hip forward. Engage both the thighs, bring the inner legs in towards each other. Inhale, lift your arms up. So once we're lifting, we're also drawing in the navel, planting down with the feet. Keep that attention to the navel drawing in as we lengthen the lower back. So we're folding and then we come to this halfway point. Just look towards the floor. Feel as though you're squeezing your inner legs in towards each other. And then exhale. Hands come down, lengthen and look forward. Exhale, fold in towards your left leg. So hips level to the floor, shoulders level to the floor. And then hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come back up. Exhale, ground down. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Squeeze into a center line. Imagine you have this central line in the middle of the mat. And then exhale, reach forward with your right hand. So this time I'm going to demonstrate with a little bit more space. Right hand on the inside of the foot, and this time I'm about shoulder width apart as well. And then rotate the left shoulder over the right. And lift the left hand up. Inhale, turn to face the floor. Exhale, step back, down we go. So we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale to the front. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the thrust to the top. Exhale, down we go. Inhale, step or jump back to the front, extend. Exhale, fold towards the leg. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Okay, so we're going to do a big step out. Take an inhale, exhale, wide stride, feet parallel to each other, hands to hips. If your hamstrings are a little bit short, you will need your bricks again. And this time the bricks will be shoulder width apart. So look down towards your feet and then take your arms out wide. And are your feet underneath your wrists? This is where you need to be. Hands to hips. Inhale, slight arching back. We're going to keep that integrity in the quadricep muscles. Exhale, fold forward. And then place the hands down just directly underneath the shoulders to start with. And again, you can use 2 bricks, and you can have them higher or even higher again. Bricks are really useful. Lengthen and look forward. Keep the sit bones lifting. I'm going to keep working in my quadricep muscles. The more I work the quadricep muscles, the longer the hamstrings can get. If you find this is impacting your lower back too much, then by all means please bend your knees. So it's better to compromise the legs so that we don't develop any back problems. And then with your next exhale, fold in. And this time we're going to walk the hands so they're level with the feet. Crown of the head rocking towards the floor. Sit bones lifting up towards the sky. Keep lifting the sit bones up, letting the head drop down. Again, remember, the more you work your quadricep muscles, the longer your hamstrings will get. And then walk the fingers forward. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the hips. And then bring your right hand into the center. Inhale, lift the left arm up. So Paravrita, Prasarita, Tadasana. If you can remember that. So left shoulder is over the right, left hand lifted. And then exhale, drop the left hand down. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Exhale, drop your right hand down, lower your head down again once more. Hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine and come back up. And then exhale, step back to the front of the mat. We'll take a sun salutation. Just sitting this time. So inhale, lift your arms up and look up. Exhale, folding towards the legs. Inhale, lengthen away from the legs, look forward. So remember, hands to the floor or to your legs. Don't just let them hang in mid-air. Press onto something. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down, chaturanga or the floor. Inhale, onto the front of the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, so this time we're going to jump to sitting. So look forward. Bend the knees, jump up, cross the legs and sit, or get there however you can get there. Legs out in front. So we've done a few standing poses, so we're going to do a few forward folds and sitting poses just to counteract some of that work. When we're talking about grounding in a seated position, or when we're on the floor, it's actually a much easier access to us to feel grounded when the legs are out in front, because we have more of a contact to the floor. If you find that you're one of the people that kind of slumps in the lower back, you can take one of the bricks or even just a rolled up blanket. This is also really useful. You might not need much of a lift. And you can just roll up the blanket and sit on the blanket, and that will just help you to lift up out of your lower back. If you don't need that, thumbs to the floor, toes come back towards the face. So we're still working the quadricep muscles. And we're just going to sit in Dandasana to start with. Dandasana is like the anatomical blueprint for all sitting poses. So we start in Dandasana, legs out in front, chest lifting, hands just placed on the floor. In fact, just for a moment, let's bring the hands off the floor. See if you can stay rooted and stable. So the heels are touching the floor, the calves, the backs of the legs, the buttocks, the sit bones. And then let's just lift the arms up. So lift up your arms and stay rooted into the floor with the backs of your legs. Also, as we're working with the earth and heaven, we're going to root down with the legs into the earth, fingers into the heaven, and then the rest of us is somewhere in between that. So we're going to draw the navel in, lengthen from the lower back, root down and rise up. So from here, we're going to go into Paschimottanasana, just one of the simpler versions. So keeping a length through the lower back and the side body, exhale, reach for your big toes. So this is called pistol grip, and that means 2 fingers pointing like this and the thumb is up. And then we take the fingers around the balls of the big toes, thumbs onto the toenail. Now some of you won't be able to reach. I see this all the time. And if you can't reach, just have a belt. And again, we're not compromising the back. We're going to keep some integrity in the back. So that might mean being quite high up, because it's better to be up here than it is to curl your back and lose your head in your shoulders just to try and grab your toes. There's no point, you're losing the pose. So you're either going to hold on to the belt and then slowly hinge forward over the roots of the thighs, or you can hold on to the big toes. Lengthen the spine, drop the shoulders back. So the first one was staying with a long spine. Even if you are super flexible, stay up for a moment. And then lengthen the spine, lift the chest, but drop your shoulder blades down. And then come forward a little bit more, taking your hands around the sides of the feet. For those of you using the belt, you might just move your fingers down the belt, maybe a centimetre or 2. Lengthen along your legs. So if you're more flexible, you're going to keep moving your head towards your feet. And then, yes, keep the back of the neck long, but gaze your eyes towards your toes. Don't just collapse your head down. This is not a restorative practice today. So a restorative practice, we would just let go of everything and let it sink. We're not doing that today. We're going to stay active. This is a fun practice. Okay, and then come back up. We're going to lift up the right knee and take the right knee out to the side for Janushashasana. So one or two of you might need to take a brick, or again, if you don't have the brick, just use a blanket or cushion underneath your knee. That's if your knee is raised off the floor quite a lot and maybe your hips are a little bit stiff, then you will need something to press your knee onto. So right knee is out to the side, 90-degree angle. Left leg is still working, the heel is pushing away from me and the toes are coming back towards me. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, reach for both sides of the foot with both hands. Or both sides of the belt with both hands, okay? And then pull on your foot, lengthen the spine again, and exhale, fold. We want to feel a length in the lower back as we're folding. And we want to feel that the shoulders are dropping away from the ears as we're folding. You notice I just stay in the pose, minimum 5 breaths. You can stay for longer. This just helps your body to really understand what the pose is. It also helps your body to release and to go, okay, now I get it. This is where I'm supposed to be. So let's just pop another thing in, something I've been liking to do recently. I've been doing this quite a lot in my classes. Turn the right hand behind you, fingers facing towards the back of the mat. Come up onto the right knee and turn your left foot inside. And take your left arm up and over your left ear and look underneath your left arm. And have a good stretch through the left side. And then lift your hands up. Come back to sitting and take your right foot forward. So we'll do all of that on the left side. Lift up your left knee, turn your femur in the pelvis, outwards, out to the side. And examine this because you might have one side that feels a little stiffer than the other. It's never a good and a bad side, okay? So sometimes there's a side that feels a little bit more challenging, and that's okay. So we'll just give that side a little bit more room, patience, and a bit more love. Okay, lift your arms up. Lengthen through the side body. Exhale, reach to both sides of the foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Remember, if you're using the belt around the ball of the foot, long spine, long belt, and then slowly coming forward towards your foot. And then use your breath. Okay, inhale, come back up. We're going to take the left hand behind, closing towards the lower back, fingers turning out. And then as we lift up, turn your right foot inward. Lift up onto your left knee and reach your right arm over your right ear. Stretch through the right way. Really love this pose. Lift your arm up and come back to sitting. And then take your feet out in front. So we're going to take a vinyasa at this point. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, cross the legs, roll forward. Step or jump back to a plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale onto the front of the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. We're going to jump to sitting again. So the key to jumping, look forward towards the front of the mat, bend the knees, heels lift, and then as you look forward and jump up, bring your feet forward. So you have to cross your feet and swing the feet forward. And that way you don't get your feet to drag along the floor. Legs out in front. Let's practice Tadasana. Tadasana, soles of the feet together. Move your buttock flesh back. It's your flesh, remember, you can grab it if you want to. You might not want to let everybody else grab it, but you can. And then distance in between the perineum and the heels, you should be able to have one palm distance. Once again, if you feel like you're slumping in your lower back, sit on one of the blocks or the blanket. We'll start by interlocking the fingers underneath the sides of the feet. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Pull on the sides of the feet if you feel your knees start to drop down. And then just give your body again a little bit of time to accept what you're doing. And then bring your thumbs in towards the soles of the feet. Peel them apart. So we're opening up the soles of the feet, and that also opens the inner legs a little bit. And today we're just going to bring the fingers forward. So bring the fingertips to the floor, soles of the feet open, and then start to gradually crawl your fingers forward. Some of you will be all the way up here, some of you will all be all the way down here. So just find your distance. Pressing your fingers into the floor, bringing the chest down. See if you can come forward just a little bit more. And then walk your hands back in. Bring your knees together. Okay, I'm going to turn this way now. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, cross the legs, roll forward. Let's just step back into down dog. And then come onto your knees, take your feet towards the back of the mat. And then come down onto the front of the body. So you're going to root down with your pubic bone, root your thighs down. So thighs are contacted with the floor, pubic bone is rooting down, and then as you do this, the buttocks might engage slightly. And that's a good thing, because when the buttocks engage, it means that we're still soft around the very lower part of the back. So where many people get problems with back bends and they get back pain, it's because they're not working the gluteus muscles to enable the lower back to feel softer. And then hands just underneath the shoulders to start with. Lift your hands and your shoulders off the floor, look down. Rooting down with my thighs, my feet, my pubic bone. And then take the hands off your mat, lift your elbows up. Inhale, lift your chest, and we're going to dance with the cobra. So take an inhale, exhale, one shoulder comes down, look over the opposite. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, opposite shoulder. So weave in between each one. Inhale, lift, exhale, opposite. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, lift all the way up. Open up the chest, open up the throat. If your back feels a little sore, root down with the pubic bone and then bend the elbows. If you can straighten your arms, but still stay rooting down with your thighs and the pubic bone and look up. Okay, and then lower down, one hand over the other, forehead onto the hand. Have a little wiggle of the pelvis. Okay, and then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, come up onto your knees. So cross your legs at your ankles, roll back over your feet, bring your feet forward. Have a brick or a cushion. Palms of the hands facing in, slowly lower down. Come down a little bit more, and then all the way to the floor. And then bend your knees, lift your hips up and take the brick or the cushion underneath the lower back, tops of the buttocks and around the sacrum. And then lift your legs and arms up, but create a very loose position. So your knees and your elbows are loose, your hands are soft, your feet. And then we're just going to shake the hands and the feet. Let's just shake some energy out. So shake a little bit faster. And then shake as fast as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just be still. Feel the energy. Bring the tips and toes. Okay, and then bend your knees, lift your hips. Bring your lower back to the floor. If you have a bolster, I encourage you to have a bolster or a cushion underneath the backs of your legs. So up towards the buttocks, and then let the feet drop out to the side. So the feet are about the width of the mat. Obviously, if you need to, if you're a little bit colder, you might want to take a blanket and cover yourself if you're in a colder climate. And then just lift your chest up and roll your shoulders underneath. You also might have an eye pillow or something to cover your eyes. I'm just going to use my blanket for now. And then completely let go. Release all your muscles and bones into the floor. Allow your legs to relax, your shoulders, your arms. Feeling your lower back sinking into the floor. No pressure on the hips. Soften your shoulders. Relax all the muscles in your face. Release your jaw. Feel your eyes moving to the back of your head. Like 2 small pebbles dropping down to the depths of the ocean.
simply let go. Feel free to lie here for longer if you need, and you can pause this video and take a longer Shavasana if that's what you need. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently rock your head from side to side. Stretch your arms back behind your head, have a stretch through to the tips of the toes. And then bend your knees, roll to one side, letting your arm on that side act as a cushion for your head. Bring the other arm in front. For a few more recovering breaths. And then push yourself up, come back up to a seated position.
So once you've found your comfortable sitting position, keep your eyes closed for a moment. Lift up your chest, let your shoulders drop. Allow yourself to move back into your waking existence. And this is an opportunity for you to either listen to some of the pre-recordings of my divine expressions passages from the book Divine Expressions. Or if you want, you can do a pranayama practice or a meditation practice, and some of those things will be available to you as a member. Or you can purchase them separately as courses. Just listen for a moment, listen to whatever answers have come up for you. Or perhaps you've just felt a calmness. Maybe you feel more energized. Just examine what it is you're feeling right now. And then bring your hands in towards your heart. And we'll finish our practice by chanting 3 Oms together and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So First a deep breath in through the nose. Release your air out your mouth. And then after your inhale, 3 Ums. Peace within, peace to each other, peace to the whole of existence. Namaste. Yes, I'll see you for the next time.